This video is brought to you by the Affinity Trading Institute. TradeZero is the preferred trading software of Affinity, but you can use any software that you're comfortable with. We trade using the TradeZero via Affinity's Trading Institute's corporate trading account program, also known as Professional Trading Evaluation. Their trading affiliate out of the UK allows us to use their TradeZero account as limited authorized traders using a TurboTick platform, also called Zero Pro. Normal TradeZero costs and commission structures do not apply when trading on this corporate trading arrangement. If you are not enrolled in the Affinity Professional Trading Evaluation Program, you can purchase the software. You cannot purchase the software. Please contact Affinity at 800-972-6077 if you are interested in this program. This video discusses making a trade. The video is only discussing how to use TradeZero to make trades. It is not advice or recommendations on any trade. I have TradeZero open, as you can see, and I will make these a little bit larger just for ease of simplicity to look at. Okay. The things that I want to do first is look at my trade defaults. I get to my trade defaults by right-clicking in the level 2 trading window. Okay, I position somewhere on the trade to level 2 window. I position somewhere, right-click. Okay, not in the header, but somewhere around here. I click on it and I do trade default. Now this will show me what my defaults are when I execute a trade for this particular window. Okay, not for both windows. If you notice, I have two windows open. Two level 2 trading windows and two level 2 charts. One with Twitter, the other one with a stock called CCJ. Okay, each one has their own trading defaults. Okay, so I will right click, choose trade defaults. So I only trade equities on this account, on this sample demo account. As you can see, we can set up the exchange with the default rule. It uses ARCA as the route, the type of order, and if you had other things, you can pick a specific account, put an expiration in, volume type. Okay, like let's assume I wanted to have my default trades go through edge X as a route. I simply switch that. So I just change the drop down value. Okay, and you can set up multiple rules depending on how you like to trade. The other thing is share sizes and the incremental size. Okay, as you can see, the default number of shares is 250. Okay, the incremental size is 100. Okay, so what does that mean? Let me save this. And let's switch this. Let's take a look at Facebook. Now this is after hours, so we're not going to execute any trades. Now notice that the route is edge X. That's the route where the trade will be executed. And notice that the default quantity is 250 with a market order. Those are the defaults. I can switch that on this window when I execute the trade, but it will come up as a default, so I don't have to switch it every time. So let me go back to the preferences, trade defaults. I'm going to make my default ARCA and a market type order. So let's assume you want to make a trade. Right. You picked a stock, you picked Twitter. Let's say we take Twitter. We look at this stock and we decide that we want to purchase it. We want to buy a position in it of 250 shares. Just simply look at the defaults. I can see that it's at $17.35. It is on the short list. That's what the S indicates. Okay. I can also see the bid and ask size. The bid and ask price. So I'm prepared to make, let's say I'm prepared to make a trade. I have 250 shares that I'm going to execute a market order, and I'm going to send through the ARCA route. Okay. Now, let's assume I want to make this trade. How do I make it? A market order simply says go out and execute the trade to the default route. So in this case, if I were to hit the buy button, okay, it will say I want to buy 250 shares of Twitter for a market order and send it through this route. So if I hit buy, I'm going to get another confirmation window telling me what I just confirmed, what I just said. I want to buy 250 shares of Twitter. Doesn't specify a price because I have a market order. It's going to go through ARCA. It's a market order. The expiration is for today and the securities type. Now, I can simply say yes, and it will execute the order. If I say no, it'll cancel out and no order will be executed. So I will say no. One other thing on the confirmation window. Notice that in my setup, I get the order confirmation window up. Notice at the bottom it says disable order confirmation. This is another configurable setting for TradeZero. My personal preference is I like that on so that I get this window open before I make the trade, and then I decide if I want to make the trade, yes or no. Now, if your preference is to simply not do that, simply disable it by saying disable order confirmation. If you do that, when you hit any of the buttons to execute a trade, it will immediately go. Okay. If I wanted to sell, I simply click sell. Now, I don't have anything in a portfolio, so it'll be kind of hard for me to sell at this point. If I want to short it, same rules. I'm trying to short the stock. So we come up with the same window. Sell short, 250 shares of Twitter, through the route ARCA, market order, it's good for the day. Let's talk about some other types of orders. A limit order. A limit order says I want to execute something. Let's say I want to buy this stock. It's at 17.29. Let's say, and so what I'm going to do is say if this stock gets to, it's currently trading at, I'm sorry, right here, currently trading at 17.35. Let's say it gets to 17.50, I want to buy it. So what I'm going to do is fill in the price. Okay, notice that when I went from, I put it back to market order, I cannot enter anything in these fields. They're grayed out. I can't enter. But if I switch this to, the only thing I can enter in is quantity, pick the route, expiration. So if I want to place a limit order, notice now that the price becomes activated. So I can enter an amount there. So let's say I want to buy my 250 shares of Twitter at, if it hits $17.50. So I'm trying to place a limit order for $17.50 for 250 shares of stock through the route ARCA. These are the different types of trades that you want to execute, or you may want to execute depending on your trading strategy. Okay, limit on close, similar thing. If it closes at a certain price, I want to execute at that point. Stop market. What is a stop market order? Stop market, the assumption in this would be that, let's say I don't have any now because after hours, after the market closes, let's just say I owned 250 shares of Twitter and I bought it. And I want to limit my loss in case it goes the wrong way. It's at 17.35 now. Let's assume I bought it at 17.35, and for nice round numbers, let's assume my stop loss is at $17. I want to risk 35 cents per share. Okay, so what do? I put in stop market. For the route, I always choose edge. I've had better luck with edge than MNGD. The specifics about that, you could talk to the professional traders at TradeZero, or I'm sorry, at Affinity, and they can explain the differences in what each of the routes do and what they're best at. Okay, so let's say I want to, assuming I bought the stock at 17.35, I want to stop it if the market, I'm going to put edge as the route, and I want the stop price. Where does it get executed? Okay, and for our example, I bought it at 17.35. If it goes down to $17, I simply enter $17 as my stop price, and then I hit the sell button. So that will put in a conditional order saying if the stock goes to $17, even, get out of the trade and sell it. Same thing if it was a short and cover scenario, right? So you pick the amount that you want and the stop price. Now, that stop price does not mean it gets executed all the time at that exact amount. Depends how fast the stock is moving, how fast it's being traded. Usually, in my experience, it's pretty accurate. However, there are times when all of a sudden it misses by a certain amount, a couple of cents, a little bit more. That's trading. Okay. Another type of order is a range, a stop limit, similar type thing where I want to stop it, but it's a limit order. It's not a stop order. I want to limit it. A range order. This is good. Let's assume that I purchased Twitter at 1735, okay, and I'm going to leave for the day. So what do I want to do? I want to put a range, because if it goes up too much, sell it, take my profits. Goes down too much, take my profits. So the thing about this is you have the shares that you have the range order, the route that it's going through. Okay. You also, when I put range order, notice that the high price and low price are enabled. So now I can enter information in there. One caution, be aware that the high price is first, not second. But you would think you would put in, well, $17 if it's low and 35. Pay attention, it's high price, then low price. So let's assume I want to get out if this stock goes to $18, 18.00. If it goes up to $18, I want to sell it. If the price goes to $17, my stop, I want to get out. So simply, if I own 250 shares, I simply hit sell, and that will execute a range order. Whether it's you're shorting it or covering it, same type of thing. So this is some of the ways you can put in orders within TradeZero. TradeZero has many features. We're trying to cover those features and tell you how they work so that you can figure out what is best for you. Okay. Again, if you want specifics on the routes, the type of orders, any specific questions for trading questions, okay, contact one of the professional traders at Affinity. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.